What's up, guys? How the fuck are you? Death Wish once again with another Death Wish Wednesday. I'm GTS the King.
And it's your boy, Imbalance.
It's your boy. So today we're going to talk about The Punisher once again, because apparently we are the Punisher fucking channel now.
Y'all don't watch any of our other videos.
It's alright, man. I can talk about The Punisher every day, all day, and never get fucking bored of it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about The Punisher. We're going to talk about some relationships.
What's the difference?
Indeed, sir. We're not going to talk too much about video games. We're going to discuss a little bit about the Punisher video games. There's not a whole lot of new games coming out right now. We talked about Rainbow Six Siege and White Noise coming out. We are actually going to start making videos about Rainbow Six Siege. We decided to make it as hard as possible on ourselves, got the beginner package or starter pack, and I'm going to have to grind, which I have no problem grinding.
It's because I'm a cheap ass.
Yeah, that's what it is.
$7.99 on Steam, Black Friday, baby.
So, yeah, we're going to jump into that. Before we get started, we want to take this opportunity. First off, guys, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I don't know what you're doing with your life.
You're doing it wrong.
You need to be subscribed to us. We're amazing. You fucking know it. Your mom knows it. Hell, maybe even your dad knows it. But subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon so you get notifications when we upload a video, because besides Death Wish Wednesday, we are pretty fucking random. We've discussed this in the other videos. Our fucking lives are hectic as shit. If you guys are wondering why the fuck I'm here and not gone, like I said I was going to be, yeah, he was going to do like a big story on how much he loved Lord and
Lord the singer, not like,
yeah,
praise the Lord.
So, but anyway, guys, so things got a little messed up. I won't get into it, but I will be leaving probably Monday. We'll get into that later, but anyway. So one of the newest things we have going is, if you look down, I guess it's over here in this
it's like
corner.
really tiny, like right,
tiny.
You gotta really focus.
We went ahead and we changed our logo, and we're going to be working on some merchandise for you guys.
T-shirts?
When we get it all set up, we're going to have t-shirts, magnets, probably the whole 9 yards, just like every other fucking YouTuber. And but we're doing it through Spreadshirt. Got some good deals and stuff with them. So if you guys get a chance, after this video sometime, check us out at shop.spreadshirt.com/deathwish419. I'll put the link in the description below. We're probably only going to have a few things up as of now. But guys, it really helps us out. It helps out Spreadshirt. And you get to sport some fucking cool ass Death Wish gear to let everybody know just how badass you are. So let's go ahead and jump into this. One of the first things we're going to talk about is, obviously Netflix has its Marvel Cinematic Universe, or well, TV universe.
What? Are we talking about The Punisher again?
Of course we are. Now, one cool thing is, when we first heard about Punisher coming out, everybody was super fucking excited. If you weren't excited, you're just an asshole. But what's really cool is Punisher was like the return of like that gritty, like real adaptation of the comic book. I mean, I personally, we did our review. We fucking loved it.
Like Daredevil season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things is, like, it's so real, and it's one of the best comic book adaptations in the last fucking decade. It's probably the best Frank Castle's ever gotten from any kind of movie or TV show.
That's for sure.
We've talked about that before. Jon Bernthal is, in my eyes, the epitome of the Punisher, and he is the perfect fucking Punisher.
For sure.
So, Jon Bernthal, obviously, he returns as the Punisher. He was in Daredevil. He finally gets his own series, and he's the Marine turned vigilante. We all know the story of what happened to his family and stuff like that. They twist it a little bit. By the way, there's going to be some spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen The Punisher, you should probably not watch.
Like fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, fast forward to a little, I'd say about halfway through the video, we'll be off this topic. But from the very start of The Punisher, it's clear that Bernthal just straight up, he gets the character. He's conveying Castle's tragedy internally, and he is like, so many little ticks and cues with his body language, his facial expressions, everything is just on point. Like, everything's on point. Yeah. Now, one of our favorite characters besides the Punisher, obviously Bernthal kind of, he steals the show. He is the main point of the show. Micro, man. Micro is
shit.
He's a definitive character. He's a standout character, and he's probably one of the coolest adaptations from a comic book I've ever seen because he really brings that character to life, and I love the way they actually used him. Now, while Micro really excels throughout the series, one of our favorite characters is Amber Rose Rivas, and I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. I don't know for sure. Is her character?
Madani.
Yeah, Madani. Dina Madani. She stands out as one of the absolute best characters in the show. She's a Homeland Security agent, and you get a little bit of backstory from her, and she really fucking puts everything into the role. And honestly, I fucking loved her throughout the series.
Yeah, I thought she was just gonna be a throwaway character when she first came on the show, and then it's really like the backbone of the whole thing if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like everybody ties into her somehow.
Yeah. Now, one thing in the series they did that I thought was interesting, and this right here, there's gonna be a small spoiler here, is Paul Schulz. I don't know if that's exactly how you say his name. He's Agent Orange, Agent Rollins. He has a big play in the series, obviously, like he's one of the main villains. But the thing is he kind of never really reaches that premise of like getting full, like decked out, being the badass that he was in the comic books and being such a threat. I don't think it ever really hits that mark in the show. But however, huge spoiler here, the other villain in the show is old Billy Russo. And personally, that I fanboyed out. It's crazy because what is the actor's name? Is it Ben Barnes? Is that it?
Oh, that played Billy Russo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it sounds about right.
Anyway, I think it is Ben Barnes, but he I don't know, man. He did such a good job of playing it off as that pretty boy and being like, he kind of played off the whole, I'm a nice guy, I'm a good guy, but at the same time, he's this nasty motherfucker. It's just like, so just ruthless, and I fucking loved it.
His own mom's terrified of him.
Yeah, but he was played with the appropriate fucking level of like nastiness and badassery at the same time, conveying like, he's making you think he's a good guy and all that shit. But I mean, he absolutely nails the part of this fucking, they call him the Butte, this handsome yet incredibly bad fucking villain throughout the show. I think it's fucking amazing. Now, again, we're into spoiler territory. At the end, when Castle fucking just like demolishes his face, and we're leading up to him becoming Jigsaw, it's just like probably one of the best things about the fucking show for me was like, scene, yeah, it was amazing. Like now the finale, because of all the other parts in the show that were fucking amazing, a lot of people were saying the finale wasn't as good. But honestly, the way I look at it is they were setting you up for season 2.
Well, everybody hates the finale because it means it's over.
Yeah. Now, if you don't know, Jigsaw is commonly seen as Frank Castle's kind of big bad villain. The same way like Daredevil has the Kingpin.
Yeah.
Fisk. Yeah, and you got Fisk. Castle has always had Billy Russo or Jigsaw. So I'm really glad that they're setting that up, the way they are. Now, here's something. I'm going to read this off of what Culture was saying. Let me see what it's at. Now, why Marvel's Netflix properties have largely managed to evade Game of Thrones syndrome since 2015, it's equally true that The Defenders wasn't so lucky. Included in that series were 2 deaths that, for the most part, were only added for the sake of shock value. Things had seemingly gotten a little bit too safe.
true. I admittedly have not seen The Defenders yet.
Yeah, I watched most of it, but it didn't keep my attention all that much. And I think that's a little bit of what they're talking about.
It's sad since it's got like all of the
Yeah.
major players in it.
Yeah. But so I don't know. Like I feel like the show really moved past all your, not just cliches, but like your typical fucking action tropes. It kind of transcended a lot of that shit, and as much as it has those, a little bit of cliches and stuff, they're self-aware about it.
Yeah.
And they don't shy away from it. So I think they did a really good job. Now, as of right now, everybody's waiting for the next season of Jessica Jones and the next season of Daredevil. It's honestly like everybody, you really have a hard time trying to find somebody who doesn't fucking, basically want to see the next season. Everybody's fucking happy about it. Now, a lot of that is, while it may be true, a lot of the excitement and the buzz and everybody talking about it has really waned. It's dying. A lot of people just aren't talking about it anymore. And a lot of that can be attributed to Iron Fist and the Defenders. They were, in my opinion, it was subpar. But there is a lot of fan anticipation for Punisher Season 2 already. People are freaking out about it. Can't wait to see Jigsaw and what's coming next for Frank Castle. I think that the show does a really good job of hitting marks in the comic books. It pays direct homage to the Punisher, born in Valley Forge throughout, with Frank's Afghan assault in episode 3 in particular, following the same beats of the former 2003 storyline. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, especially because it was in Vietnam in the original Punisher comic. Obviously they updated it for the show, and it really gives fans a good idea of what the character is all about. Directly off the tip, like directly. I think probably within the first 2 episodes, you can automatically it's almost like you just immediately know this is what Frank Castle is about. This is his life. This is what he does. He is the goddamn Punisher. Now the Punisher has this massive history of being misinterpreted and misappropriated. Obviously, we've seen the movies. Yeah, we've covered that and talked shit about it all the time. And oh my god, he was introduced in 1974, and it was Spider-Man. He was a villain in Spider-Man, and it was 1987 that he finally got his own series that was worth a fuck. And just from that on, he's been up and down, and the movies have, I don't give a shit what you say, they've been pretty terrible. I like Thomas Jane's Punisher as Thomas Jane played a good Punisher, but the movie sucked.
Yeah.
Big fan of Dolph Lundgren, huge fan of Dolph Lundgren, but that movie was terrible. I don't think, Jesus Christ, my phone. Didn't turn it off instead.
My only complaint is they never give the Punisher the white boots, man.
Oh yeah, he doesn't get the white boots or the white tactical belt. Yeah. Oh god. But yeah, so honestly, all in all, I'm super fucking stoked about season 2. I think that this is, a lot of people say oh, Netflix isn't really in trouble here, but the excitement and everything around the Netflix Marvel universe has kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like this is bringing a resurgence to everybody being excited about it again. Hopefully they stay away from the shit with Iron Fist and the Defenders, and we get this true adaptations following on to Jessica Jones, Daredevil. And honestly, if you just look at Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and Punisher, you're talking about 3 amazing shows they have that I think is going to keep everybody's fucking interest as long as possible.
See, even I was excited as hell for Daredevil and Jessica Jones on their own merits. Now I'm more excited because it's going to be something to hold me over till Punisher Season 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I still love both, especially Jessica Jones. I think she's so underrated.
Yeah.
But, God, that's probably my favorite, besides the Punisher.
Oh, yeah. Now, one of the things that we've discussed this already, and a lot of people keep bringing up that they really kind of pussyfoot around anything talking about gun control, and a lot of people are upset about that. But honestly, it has, everything about the Punisher is a fascination with weapons, killing people, punishing, street justice, vigilantism, and what they tackle soldiers, when they return home with PTSD and how they're perturbed and socially awkward. They don't know what to do. They're mistreated. I felt like that was a much bigger topic to discuss and tackle than fucking gun control. So honestly, I know a lot of our fans might call us out for this, and they might say that we're stupid, but gun control can suck a dick. This is not the place for that. The show was not ever going to talk about gun control like that. I mean, they covered it for like an episode or two with the mayor or whatever, and who gives a fuck, man? This type of show is not going to be the place to be like, oh, gun control. It's the Punisher. How do you expect for them to tackle gun control? And they do, like I said, they do a much better job of tackling, military coming home, being mistreated, PTSD, basically them going crazy and being, misinterpreted and misunderstood. And I think that was way better.
And if you think about it, like, the bigger issue here is soldiers returning home with PTSD, and just anyone with like any kind of mental issues need better care, because a gun by itself can't kill anyone. It's the person using the gun,
right?
Which usually has some kind of mental illness or mental issues. So let's focus on paying more attention to those people and getting them the help they need.
Yeah.
And then gun control wouldn't even be an issue.
Oh yeah. Well, see, and that's and honestly, I don't want to get too much into the gun control issue, because there, obviously people are. I think a lot of people are just uneducated about the subject matter, and they don't get. It is kind of a pain in the ass to get a gun. At the same time, it's really not. Being that I lived in Kentucky for a long time, you can literally go to a flea market and pick up a firearm.
Yeah.
And there's no registration, there's no waiting period, there's no nothing. Now shit like that, yeah, that kind of, that's a blurry line of being fucked up. But at the same time, I don't personally care. I'm not going to get into the gun control thing, because I grew up around firearms. I've been trained with firearms, and personally, I couldn't imagine our society without guns. Because you have bad people with guns and you have good people with guns. Well, if you got gun control to the point where only bad people can get guns, you're setting yourself up to be fucked.
Not in a fun way.
No, not in a fun way. So that's all we're going to talk about the Punisher. But guys, like I said, to me, it's definitely saving the fact that people are kind of waning away from being excited about the Marvel Universe on Netflix, because everybody's fucking excited again.
Yeah, it definitely breathed some new life into the Netflix
Marvel
universe. The cinematic universe is doing great. It doesn't need any saving.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
that's for another Death Wish Wednesday, I think, to talk about the cinematic universe.
One of the other things we're going to talk about right now, because a lot of people were asking me about this on Twitter, because apparently we've become the Punisher No. So people were asking about video games. And has there ever been any Punisher video games? Actually, yes, there's been quite a few Punisher video games. They have all sucked. Back in 1990, you had the Punisher. It was a game for NES, and it was kind of like, Streets of Rage. You were fighting up against Kingpin, and there wasn't a whole lot to it. And then
it's an LJN game, which is notorious for making shitty movie, comic book, what have you, adaptations.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day.
It was also ported to Game Boy in 1991. Ooh. And yeah.
Which had Spider-Man in it.
Yeah, it had Spider-Man in it. And then the Punisher 1990, it was brought over on the computer. Then we had the Punisher Ultimate Payback in 1991. It was the Game Boy game with Jigsaw, and Jigsaw was the main villain, and then you had a cameo with Spider-Man. Then we had the Punisher 1993. It was a coin-operated arcade game. The Punisher was released in 1993 by Capcom, and the game was one of your side-scrolling beat 'em ups. You know, just like I said, a lot like Streets of Rage and shit. It was in the same vein as Final Fight, and the player could control the Punisher or Nick Fury on their quest to kill Kingpin.
That game was awesome because Capcom always made good arcade
Oh yeah, I remember playing the fuck out of that.
Yeah,
and,
that's back in the arcade days.
that was back around here we had a place called Aladdin's Castle.
We're giving away our ages right now.
Yeah, it's called Aladdin's Castle. It was this big arcade we had in the mall over here in Mansfield. And I remember going there all the time playing fucking arcade games like crazy.
X-Men and the Punisher, baby.
Yep. So anyway, back in 2005, we had a Punisher. It was an action game.
Movie, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was exclusively designed for adult players and was released by Volition. Players take control of the Punisher and track down criminals, make them pay for their deeds. The game story is a loose mixture of the 2004 film as well as the 2000 miniseries. Welcome back, Frank. I remember playing it shortly,
I
and
don't think I ever played it.
it was fucking stupid.
Oh, Thomas Jane did the voice.
Oh yeah, Thomas Jane was the voice actor.
Was this like PS2 or something?
You know, honestly, I don't remember what system it come out for. I remember that a buddy of mine, he brought it to my attention because, you know, he knew I was a huge Punisher fan. I remember playing it vaguely, but obviously it wasn't worth the fuck because I don't remember much about it. Now, I just remember, somebody was like, oh, you should play this, it's cool, blah, blah, blah. Then, in 2009, we had The Punisher No Mercy. It was a PlayStation 3 game, was developed by Zen Studios and released by Sony. It was exclusive to the PlayStation Network, and the game included a bunch of characters from the comics like Nick Fury, Dum Dum Dugan, Outlaw, and Yelena Belova. It was, from what I remember, it had horrible reviews. I don't think I ever played it.
Sounds like I ever did either.
I don't even remember seeing it in stores. It was fucking horrible.
I think it was online only.
Yeah, and honestly, just about anything that the Punisher was in back then, video game wise, I'm not talking about cameos, it sucked. It all sucked. It was just horrible.
Except for that arcade game. That was
Yeah,
shit.
the arcade game was about the only thing that I ever played that was really worth a fuck. So, honestly, we're gonna move on from the Punisher, and we said we were gonna talk a little bit about relationships. If you're wondering why, it's because for the longest time, both of us were single. We've been through shitty marriages. We've been through a lot of stupid shit. But for once,
Crazy bitches.
we're both actually kind of happy. We had a Twitter. We get weird fucking messages on Twitter. We had somebody ask us what race we were, which we covered that. It's fucking really stupid. Then I've actually had 4 or 5 messages over the span of probably the last 2 months where we've been asked if we were single or and I assume it's either fangirls or people are just being trolled. I don't fucking know. I don't really care. But so for the most part, both of us have been single. But as of right now, we're both, might as well be taken. He finally found someone who's not crazy.
Thank God.
And I'm telling you, if you guys knew the history of his fucking women, you would understand what fucking kind of accomplishment that is for him to have found someone who's not fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
The other thing is, with me, son of a bitch. Sorry guys, I'm doing something in the process of doing it. With me, I found someone who, for once, I'm actually not just attracted to them, but had a personal connection with them, and it's not just all about, hey, let's have sex. And most of my relationships have always sucked. My previous marriage was fucking horrible, it was just awful. But there's this amazing girl, I hope she sees this video. I'm not going to say her name just because we generally don't give out names.
Yeah,
but I hope she watches this video. I know she's told me in the past that she watches our videos all the time. But she is absolutely incredible, and I would just about do anything for her. And honestly, I'm happy. I'm beyond happy that I found her. And it was weird too, because it was just we started talking and everything just kind of took off, and she's fucking amazing. I hope when she watches this video, she can just flaunt it to everybody and be like, see how fucking cool this guy is? And like he's talking about me and oh man, look how sexy he is.
So, I guess I'll talk about the girl I met. I'm not gonna say names either because who knows who the hell's watching.
Yeah.
There's a lot of creeps out there. But yeah, I'm used to like, you know, girls that are like just guano, you know, just kind of batshit. And like just treat me like shit, call me every name in the book. Tell me they hate me one minute, then tell me they love me the next. I can go on about that shit, but like I met a girl and we were talking, we finally met each other, and just right off the bat, like we just clicked instantly. Like it wasn't awkward, it wasn't weird. Like it's like we knew each other for years. Like we just like hopped into each other's arms and really got to know each other and care about each other, and she treats me really good. Treats me like a king, actually. Like I'm still getting used to that. I love it, but it's just like, wait, why are you doing this? But so yeah, I'm really happy right now and excited to see where it goes.
Oh, by the way, if you're ever wondering like why I'm always looking on my phone, 9 times out of 10, it's either because I'm answering shit from fans on Twitter,
Sending dick pics.
I gotta zoom in really close, man. I got one of those like macro lenses. Anyway, or I'm talking to the girl I was just talking about. Other than that, like other than this one girl that I fucking talked to, like if anybody else messages me, I'm like, fuck you, I'm in the middle of something. And generally, like, I know we had one fan ask us if we were single, and I feel like it was just mainly because, I don't know, people were fucking weird on the internet, man. I've had girls, being from my solo music career, send me fucking pictures of them getting a tattoo of like my name and shit on them, like a big heart and stuff, and
whoa,
as flattering as that might be, it's also a little fucking
it's terrifying.
scary. Especially because a lot of your information as a hip-hop artist or even as a YouTuber is out in the open.
Yeah.
And they can track your ass down. I've seen it happen.
We got some stands out there.
So, yeah, like, I personally, I don't care, you know, my music fans, I don't care if they get tattoos and shit, but don't make it creepy. Like, that just, it really creeps me out. Like, now, I had a fan one time. It's a really fucking sad story, but I want to say that they were from Minnesota, if I remember right. But the guy's name was Jared. I don't remember their last names, not that I would want to say their last names. But him and his younger sister, they had heard about me, I guess, on SoundCloud or Reverb Nation or whatever. And one of my albums, The Real Rep, come out of Reverb Nation. He bought that. They used to listen to me all the time. She wasn't really into hip hop. He was big into the underground scene. Then I guess when I went out that way on a show, I think it was with Freeway. I guess they come and seen me. Obviously I didn't know, but I guess like he was diagnosed with lymphoma, and the last album that he bought of mine was Desolation, which is one of my best-selling albums. And I guess they used to listen to me all the time while he was in the hospital and stuff. Like, I guess he was just a true fan. And this girl wrote me, like, while her brother was dying, and I guess they told her and him as well, you know, he wasn't gonna make it. He went through so much chemo and different things, and they couldn't save him. And she wrote me, and like when I seen the message, like, I reached a hand out, you know, asked her what I could do to help and what I could do, you know, in general, because it fucking sucks, man. Like, you got people out there, you don't know their story, and they send you something like that. It's heartbreaking. And like, I sent her a t-shirt and I think like 2 or 3 copies of different albums they didn't have, some different merchandise stuff, autographs, everything I could do to try to just make them smile. And I told her, I was like, you know, I'm not rich. I can't send you $1 million to pay for all his medical bills, but you know, I'd do anything in the world to, you know, try to make him smile at least for a day or whatever. And she said it made him really happy and everything. And then 3 days after receiving all the stuff I sent him, unfortunately he passed away. It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever experienced as a hip hop artist, knowing when your fans is going through that, knowing that I couldn't really do anything about it. And still this day, like, I know it's been a very long time. Her name was Lisa, by the way. She sent me a picture. She got a tattoo, like, it was like a tree. And I mean, it was really big. It was down her arm or whatever. And underneath the tree, she got this, like, wave format. And I guess it was apparently from one of my songs called Scars. And she actually pulled the wave format off of it. And she had her brother's name in it. And then, like, she had GTS, like, in weird print around it. And it was surrounded by a heart. And it was, like, underneath the roots of the tree. And the tree represented, like, the lifeline of her brother and stuff like that. And she had, like, different memories and things tattooed in it. But anyway, she said a lot of times what she would do is she would go back and listen to, like, Desolation, being that it was one of the albums they would sit and listen to together. And she said that it always made her feel like her brother was still there with her. And I'm telling you, man, that shit is heart-wrenching. And, I mean, I'm glad that I've affected people in a positive way throughout my career. But to have somebody tell you that, it is... There's no way to really express it, man. I'm glad that she can listen to my music and feel like her brother's still there, but at the same time, it's so fucking heartbreaking. And it's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
So, Lisa, if you end up watching this video, which I doubt you will, like, I just want to tell you that I still remember you, I still remember your brother, and I'm still sorry. I know it's been roughly 4 or 5 years now, and honestly, if I could have done more, I would have. But back to what I was originally saying, we have fans like that, and that's great. You know, always want to try to help them and stuff. But then you have batshit crazy fans who send you love letters and just weird shit, and I'm telling you, it's fucking creepy, man. It's creepy. Don't, you know, I've never actually had someone show up at my house, but I've had someone tell me they were in my area. And, like,
Jesus.
Yeah, and that freaked me out because at the time I was living in Kentucky, and none of my shit said anything about me living in Kentucky, so it was very sketched out to how she knew, like, I was in that area. And, like, she sent me pictures from Pikeville, where I was at, and she was, like, down by the university, and I was like, oh, that's not creepy at all.
Holy shit.
And, like, I even went to a buddy and was like, how is this possible? And he was like, man, she probably pinged your IP address and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that shit, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, no, fuck no. But back to originally what we were talking about. So for once, we're both actually incredibly happy.
Yeah.
I'm very timid about love and shit like that. So, like, honestly, for the longest time, I was like, man, like, I don't even know. Like, I think we're both that way. It's like, we really don't want to catch too many feelings, but at the same time, like, I even told her I thought it was, like, going to turn out to be some kind of sick joke. And it just, honestly, something that happened, which I'm not going to discuss, made me realize how much I actually care about her. And it just blew my fucking mind. And, yeah, so.
That's, you know, me, like, not even that long ago, like, I got pretty hurt and I was just like, fuck love, it ain't real.
Yeah.
People just make that shit up. And you just meet the right person and, like, all of a sudden I'm, like, feeling about this one. So, if you're watching, you're my girl and I'm your honey bear. She calls me her honey bear.
That was probably the gayest thing I've ever heard.
And that's what love does to you, man. It makes you fearless. I don't know how gay that sounds.
Honestly, what cracks me up is he was literally just making fun of me because of this girl, because I was making, like, sappy love beats and, like, sampling Al Green and shit, and he's like, what has this girl done to you? Like, she has ruined you. And he's like, fuck love, fuck this, whatever. And then he meets someone, I'm like, what up, bitch? And he's like, alright, I get it. He's like, I get it, yeah, I'm on board now.
Let's make this album.
Let's make this album. It's gonna be all lovey and dovey and shit. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. I'm like, alright, talk shit again. Like, yeah, now you get it. But anyway, guys, we just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Like I said, we have our merchandise up. We got our new logo. There's gonna be all kinds of shirts, hats, gear. Fresh to death. You're gonna be fucking, just deck yourself out in Death Wish shit. And just hold a middle finger up to anybody not wearing Death Wish and tell them you need to go subscribe to their channel, buy their shit. They're fucking awesome, and we love you guys. We appreciate everything that you do for us. We appreciate the comments, the likes, everything. For our followers on Twitter, Some of your questions are fucking weird. That's why I don't respond to some of them. Because people, I mean, you guys ask some random fucking questions on Twitter. The thing that kills me the most, though, is we have hundreds of followers on Twitter. We have, like, over 200 some people who follow us on Facebook. We have, like, 16 subscribers on YouTube. Tell me, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what is it that we can't transition from one to the other? Mind you, we don't advertise. Okay? We don't advertise at all. We do everything word of mouth. And, like, we're talking about developing a street team. That's, you know, that's going to be later on.
That's down the road.
Yeah, we'll hit you guys up with that information. What cracks me up is even me, like, I can't even bring my solo fans over to this shit. And I'm not real sure why.
I don't get it.
I personally, you know, it
me?
is what it is. I don't really care, but like we're just wondering, like, what do you guys want to see from us? You know, we're not worried about getting so many subscribers and like making a bunch of money, because I mean we do this because we love to do it.
We just want to get our voices out there, man.
Yeah, and as far as like making money, we would love to do this full time. We would love to make enough money to, you know, actually be able to do this full time.
I got a pretty
Same
good
way.
job. I'm happy with it.
Well.
But yeah, it'd be awesome to do this for a living.
Yeah, when I was doing music, to the point where that's all I was doing, it's easier to get in contact with your fans. It's easier to have time to really reach out and communicate with your community and the people that follow you. Where you're doing other stuff, it's a whole lot harder.
Now I've always work on your art.
Yeah, I've always stayed pretty fucking busy, especially in the hip hop scene. But like, I always had time to reach out to fans and shit because I was making really good money just making music. Right now, Death Wish, we don't really make that much money off our music. He's told you he works a regular 9-to-5 full-time job to pay for, you know, his living and shit. I make decent money off of what I do, but we would love to be able to do this full-time. And hell, I know one of the biggest things I want to do is when we get to that point, like I want to start doing charity live streams and giving back to our community and shit. Especially, like, I know we want to tackle heroin. You know, we want to do whatever we can do to get that shit out of here. And yeah, heroin is killing people all over the fuck. But in this area in particular, it's fucking running rampant. And we want to try to help people out as much as we can. We're not going to fucking sit here and debate with people about it being a choice or being a disease or whatever. I don't fucking care.
It's a problem. We can all agree on that.
We just agree that it's a fucking problem, and we want to do what we can to try to help people. Anyway, guys, go check out our merchandise. It should be up by the time you see this video. Hit that subscribe button. Click that bell icon. Let us know in the comments below, what do you want to see from us, and what can we do to fucking make this channel better? You know, we listen to our community. We still got to do that fucking Ted in real life video. We just, like I said, we stay busy, man. Like, we have so much shit to do. But we'll get there eventually. Appreciate all you guys. We love all of our fans. We love all of our subscribers. We really do actually appreciate each and every one of you. Now, when I say that we actually take the time to comment back to, you know, anybody who comments on our videos and stuff, we may not have a lot to say. Especially, you know, a guy recently, he basically reiterated what we had said in our video. And we liked the comment. But there wasn't much to respond on. As far as, like, he basically said exactly what we said in a different way and was giving his perspective on it. And we were basically saying, that's awesome.
Glad to see eye to eye with us. Yeah, I don't know how to reply to that.
Yeah, there wasn't much really for us to say. Anyway, guys, this has been Death Wish Wednesday, and we will catch you in the next video. Like I said, don't forget to hit the goddamn subscribe button and the bell icon.
That's right.
And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Make love. Fuck.
Make love, make fuck.